For anyone who's tuning in, we're going to start in just a couple of moments. We got about 2 minutes before we officially start. Welcome, everyone. My name is Colleen O'Connor, and we are having a free Yuen Method group session today here, and the topic is dealing with holiday stress. So thank you for joining me. We're here live on YouTube, and it is, what's today? Thursday, December 19th. So first thing what we're going to do is get everybody lined up and synced up and activate everybody's physical intelligence. So for everybody who is either tuning in right now or who's going to be watching this after the fact, we want to make everybody even within themselves and with each other. Everyone's trying to connect, to communicate, to coordinate, to synergize, to fit in, and to work together. Strengthening everybody's midline. Strengthening everybody's brains. Cranial. And like all the brains connecting, integrated, even, and balanced. Strengthen all their nerves in the nervous system, their cerebral spinal fluid, all components of the nervous system, evenly strong, evenly activated. Bringing everybody's energy into this particular time and space, dimension, universe, grounding the energy. And strengthening everyone to be neutral. And strengthening everyone's minds. Let's see, everybody's bodies, minds, spirits, or minds. Non-conscious. Strengthen the mind, empty the mind, and sending the presence of the mind away to other dimensions, universes, etc. Okay, so first I just want to give a little bit of an overview for those who are not familiar. What we're doing here today is we're doing a free Yuen Method group session dealing with holiday stress, and I am Colleen O'Connor. I am a certified Yuen Method consultant, practitioner. And what the Yuen Method is, if you're not familiar, I'll give you the brief explanation. It was created by Dr. Cam Yuen, and he was a chiropractor, a 35th generation Shaolin Kung Fu master, and also an aerospace engineer. And he combined all three of those areas of expertise to create the Yuen Method. And he, with the Yuen Method, with him and with all of us who are consultants or practitioners, literally hundreds of thousands of people have improved their lives in different ways. Often people who have some sort of physical issue that is not resolved by any other method gets resolved through the Yuen Method, because it turns out that that issue has several multidimensional components where the physical tends to be a very small portion of whatever was affecting them. And that's why I do this method. I was having an issue years ago where I could not eat for several months. I couldn't bite and chew, and I was doing everything, trying everything, and nothing was working. And I went to Dr. Yuen, and after months and literally tens of thousands of dollars, the next day I was eating. So
It works very quickly. And what it isn't is it's not therapy. It's not healing in the traditional sense of the word. The results are healing. The results are therapeutic. The reason why I say it's not healing is because healing is actually, or the idea of having a healer is a more antiquated idea from the standpoint of the Yuen method, because that implies that there is a person who is the healer who is at a higher level than the person who is being healed. And that means that there's some sort of dependency of the person who is the recipient from the person who is giving it, and that this person is somehow downloading, transmitting their energy to them. That's not the Yuen method. The Yuen method is really an energetic technology because it uses the chiropractic, because it uses the kung fu, and because it also uses the aerospace technology. It works very quickly. And what it boils down to is we as human beings, we have a computer within us. We actually have several computers, but the main computer being our nervous system, the brain, the spinal cord, the nerves, the cerebral spinal fluid, the meninges. Those components make up the nervous system. The nervous system is what is in charge of the body and actually other levels of our being. And that's a computer. So we want to connect, or what's happening when we do the Yuen method is I'm connecting my computer to your computer. And so what happens there is I'm not transmitting energy, but because I'm connecting intuitively and energetically into your computer, when you have an issue that's troubling you, I can go through a process of checking in to your computer will tell me what the actual issue is. And once I identify what it is, then I energetically make you strong to it, strengthen you to delete it, and delete all the accumulated effects of whatever that issue, or what we call in the Yuen method, weakness is. So what I'm doing is I'm finding what are the weaknesses, or what are the real things that are creating and contributing to whatever you are experiencing. And we're finding them, you're strong to them, strong to deleting them, and then removing all the effects out of your body, your mind, and your spirit. That's essentially the Yuen method. And you've heard me, some of you who are familiar have heard me speak before, but the way that this came about is Dr. Yuen, when he was very young and he was competing in kung fu competitions, when he was competing against, when he had competitors and they were in sparring matches, he could feel where that person's weaknesses were in their body, and he would attack those areas. When he became a chiropractor, he reversed that. When he was working with his patients, he could feel where the patient's weaknesses were. And instead of making them weaker, he would make them stronger. He would strengthen those weaknesses to the point where the person would then basically like turn back on their computer and all the levels of their being that had been shut down by whatever was creating their issues. So that's how the Yuen method works. And that's what we're going to be doing today. And we're working on the topic of the holidays. This is a very triggering time of year for pretty much anybody, even if you aren't really into, we'll say Christmas or whatever holidays. Everything that's going on around you, your family, the collective, ancestors, they have triggers too. And because we are connected to everyone, we can be feeling the effects of that as well. So the purpose here today is to get us to be balanced, center, stabilized, back to neutral, back to calm, back to yourself, so that you can just enjoy whatever you do or don't do in this holiday season. So with that said, I'm going to again check in with our group. And when I say check in with the group, because this is streaming live on YouTube, we will have people who are here today watching live, and also have those who are going to be watching this after the fact. And so I am working with this with the idea that we're going to be benefiting both on both levels. So I just want to see if there's anybody who has chatted anything. Okay, I'm not seeing any chats right now. Okay, if anybody has anything, they can feel free to send it in the chat. And those of you who are
who are clients of mine that already have my contact information, you can feel free to even send me a text or a WhatsApp. So let's look at the group as a whole. Strengthening this group here. Strengthening more of the nervous system, all the brains. Strengthening the mind, emptying the mind, sending the spirit and spirit, mind and spirit, make them strong, make them clean, clear, and cleanse. And we want to send the presence of them off, just away out of the body, so the body can be fully in its physical strength. Clearing everyone's thinking, emotions, strengthening their feeling, their perception, their intuition. So the intuition needs to be stronger. And strong to feel the difference between what is strong, what is weak. Activating physical intelligence. So physical intelligence is a term Dr. Yuen had created, and it basically, we always think of having mental intelligence, but actually your physical intelligence is much greater and stronger and more of greater use to you than the mental. And I have some videos on YouTube about physical intelligence, so I do recommend checking that out. Oh, and also I do want to mention that one of my colleagues, Ricardo Madera, he is in Mexico. He recently finished writing a book, and it is available on Amazon, a book called Physical Intelligence. It's originally written in Spanish, so it's Inteligencia Física. You can get it in either version. And that does talk about physical intelligence and the principles of the Yuen Method. So that is just came out a couple of weeks ago. I will put a link to that in this YouTube once I post it. But I'll also, if you are, again, any of my clients who are in touch, feel free to reach out and ask me about that. But I'll put information out there. I do recommend checking it out. You might find some of the terminology, it might not be consciously as linear to make sense initially, but it's okay. Just by reading the book itself is its own strengthening and its own energy. You're connecting with the energy of the Yuen Method, and you can get some shifts I find when I read it, I start to get very relaxed and even a little bit sleepy, and that's actually normal. So you really want to just connect to it, download it without having to mentally process. And also, as I am working on us all today, it's okay and actually absolutely fine if you are not mentally processing or understanding what I'm doing. The main thing is for you to feel what we're doing and to be open to the shifts and to receiving what we're doing. So it's just letting your computer do what it needs to do to receive what we're doing here today. Okay, so tapping into our group. We're going to balance the group, the people who are live and the people who are listening to this live, and the people are going to listen to it later. We need to make them even. We're making everyone even with receptive to your own questions, to other people's questions, to receive, feel, and perceive shifts, strengthening, and deleting, regardless of whether you're listening to this live or you are listening to this after the fact. And to resonate, even if you don't, I should say, if you don't resonate with somebody's questions, to still allow yourself to receive the benefits of their question. So their questions, your questions, your questions, their questions, your problems, their problems, their problems, your problems. So no resistance, no rejection, reverse perception, so rejection with the group. So deleting that. It's from the mind. Okay, so everyone to be ready, open, and receptive to receive, to feel, to perceive. So everyone's perception needs to be stronger. And we want to remove any negative, non-beneficial energies for the group. some negative spiritual energies. I'm going to make those even, make them one contained, make you all strong to it, separate from it, and send them all away to other dimensions, universes, existence, time, place, places unknown, black hole, wormhole, dark energy, dark matter, and deleting it down to zero minus infinity. The sources, the reasons, the causes out of the past and out of the future. Future not going to the past, past not going to the future. There's some fears about letting your mind go. So let's strengthen body, mind, spirit, strong to be separate, strong to be together. Your spirit and mind out of your spirit, spirit out of your mind. So your spirit is not interfering with your mind not interfering with your spirit. And all parts of the being, body, mind, spirit, the conscious, subconscious, and non-conscious, your soul, higher source, higher self, all strengthened, all evenly strong, all balanced, centered, and stable. Stabilizing is weak. Okay, so we're making that stronger. Excuse me. And by the way, if those of you aren't familiar, I yawn a lot when I do this work because it's just how my body releases and processes. Okay, so let's make sure body, mind, spirit, the internal boundaries and the external boundaries need some strengthening. The external dynamics, vertices, everything working together, leading any conflict, controversy, any contradictions. Okay, everyone in this group, we're strengthening the boundaries and dynamics, external boundaries, external dynamics. Everyone's strong to yourself, strong to the planet, strong to the universe. Your soul, higher source. So this group needs to be stronger to the higher source. So strengthen your brain receivers to higher source to brain receivers. Everything working together, balancing that out. And any separation, so some separation from self. So we're going to strengthen that. All the parts of you connecting, communicate, coordinate, so that's better. Okay. And then in the Yuen method, we have a triad that has take charge, self-mastery, and expertise. That's not strong. So I want to make that strong, the group. But, the mind, the conscious, subconscious. So too much interference from the mind. Okay, and then some reverse perception. So strengthen your perception to be fully here, on track to what's true, what's happening, to your results. And that's in the spirit. So, and then deleting all negative experience of not getting results and getting wrong answer and slowness. So delete all the slowness of the mind. I'm just strengthening here, everyone to be fully here, fitting in on purpose. So everybody fitting in together, fitting with yourselves, fitting with each other, fitting with the Yuen method. Okay. Okay, and some karmas, delete any karmas in the group. Any direct, some indirect karmas. Some religious karmas, so we're deleting those. So out of the future, distant, far distant. Okay, deleting that. Okay. We're deleting all the sources of reasons, causes, sensations, or some reactions. Okay, and then some loss. So clearing the loss from the collective and religious experiences this lifetime and the past. Okay, so clearing everything from the past. Conscious, subconscious, non-conscious. Okay, clearing all this karma. Let's delete it out of the past, future. Future not going to the past, past not going to the future. Forgive, forget, unconditional. All sentiments, so clearing sentiments, stories. And more another level of karma. Or your own karma. Religious karma. Okay. Okay, deleting that down to 0 minus infinity. Resetting everybody's body, mind, spirit, reprogramming your thinking, awareness, your perception. Okay. I make another request here if there's any specific requests. Okay, so what does this group need here? We're talking about the holidays. So stress comes up out of the mind. Okay, now, and from the standpoint of the Yuen method, there really is stress doesn't really mean anything. It's a word that our minds collectively have come up with, agreed to describe when we're having like sensations, emotion, and reactions that we really don't know what's going on. So we call it stress. And that's actually, something that you'd hear from Dr. Yuen himself. So just deleting that. And that's collective and even yourself. And that's misinterpretation, slowness, misguidance, and wrong answer, misinformation. And some false tools. Okay, deleting that down to 0 minus infinity. Okay, resetting everybody. So let's see, the biggest weakness for this group here, what area of life? We have health, we've got money, we've got less aging, which also includes the future, fitness, career, relationships, food, physical intelligence. So this group, it's actually the career. Business and education comes up as a major first weakness. So make those even, all the weaknesses even, all the people even, and delete that down to 0 minus infinity. It's non-physical, it's emotional, it's psychic, it's collective, religious again. It's from spouses, loved ones. Leave that down to 0 minus infinity. The mind. Okay, so this relates to the future. And this comes up actually a lot. The holidays is the future because there is this collective I'm strengthening this and strengthening and deleting as I say this. There is a collective sense of the final countdown. I was just working with another client about that, and that was coming up. So deleting the final countdown, the rushing, the pushing, the pressuring, almost the panicking, end of year, time of year, seasons, the holidays, all of that, bring all those energies and weaknesses together, make them even, make them finite, contain, strengthen everybody to it, delete it, delete the effects, the body, the spirit, and the mind, down to zero minus infinity. All the reasons, all the causes, out of the past, out of the future, and the total accumulated effects. It's been beyond infinite for everyone here. So make those effects, make those even, make them finite, make them contain. And then we're going to delete those down to zero minus infinity. Deleting a lot more sentiments. And there's memories, residuals, remnants, and remains. So deleting that down to zero minus infinity. Okay, deleting that. Okay, eliminate free. Okay, resetting, reprogramming, restarting. So everyone's job, career, purpose, business, education feels stronger. Resetting, reprogramming, restarting. Okay, you to receive, to feel, to perceive, to allow, acknowledge, accept. So we got to strengthen everybody. Let's check on everyone's physical intelligence. It's about 60%. So that's not, we want to make that stronger. To 60 to 70, 80, 90, 100%. Okay, your nervous system computer needs to be stronger. So strengthening that, what's affecting that, non-physical. It's psychic. So clearing all the psychic energies, even it's other lifetimes, actually. Fears from other lifetimes. What comes up is money issues, other lifetimes, and money getting triggered because of the holidays, the excess spending, not spending, having it, losing, not losing. So losing money, gaining, not gaining, income, no income. And it's from collective poverty, collective struggle and suffering. So deleting all those experiences and the karmas related to that. So all the karmas, the direct, the indirect karmas. Okay, some culture, so deleting that. Resetting, reprogramming, restarting. Forgive, forget, unconditional. And I'm checking the boundaries and dynamics again. You'd be balanced, center, stable. Okay, so resetting. How's the group now? Physical intelligence of the group. 90, up to 98 out of 100. Okay, so still some things with physical intelligence that are not quite 100%. So strengthen the group for you to your physical surroundings, surroundings to you. And then let's strengthen the internal communication, the brain connecting to all parts of the body, all parts of the body to the brain, strongly connecting, working together. Working together goes weak. And the brain connecting to the molecules. Molecules. So activating the molecules. And let's strengthen the molecules, atoms, quantum particles among themselves. Connecting, communicating with them. Connecting, communication is weak there. There's some, again, more non-physical reasons for the physical intelligence. There's a lot of emotional influences. And the spirits being, okay, so let's clear what's coming up. This comes up this time of the year. Misinterpretation, misinformation about being in spirit. So being in the holiday spirit, having holiday spirit, being inspired, all that. All those weaknesses pulled together, make them even, make them one, contained, delete them out of the mind, conscious, subconscious, unconscious, and strengthen the spirit, empty the spirit. Body, mind, spirit, strong separate, strong together, strong together. Okay. If you listen to any of Dr. Yuen's trainings, teachings, he talks about the spirit. He has a whole course about body, mind, spirit. We collectively, again, have a lot of misinformation and misinterpretation about what the spirit is and what its purpose is. So from the standpoint of the Yuen Method, we don't want to put the spirit on a pedestal. We don't want to have spirit in our body. We actually want to have the mind and the spirit, the presence of them, be away from the body so that the body is fully in its physical intelligence. The purpose of the spirit, rather than this, being put up on a pedestal and it's being the higher vibration. Let's not confuse the spirit with your soul and with higher source, which higher source is the universal intelligence, the creator intelligence, or whatever. If universe doesn't work for you, if God, whatever you want to call that higher source, that's not the spirit. The spirit's purpose is actually to draw out and remove the waste products from the body. So that keeps clearing those things out of the body so that you have your highest physical intelligence. I know that sounds like, what are you talking about? And if you don't understand, don't worry about it. But just know that you want to keep your mind and spirit clear and empty as possible, and have them not in your body, because you're not going to lose them. They are a part of you, but you want to send their presence away from your body so that they're not clogging up your system, so to speak. The physical intelligence, the nervous system, is an incredible computer that knows exactly what to do at any given time. Your mind, not so much. Your mind makes things complicated, confuses things. Your mind has a different purpose. The purpose of the mind is that it can ask the question, but then you set the mind aside after it's asked a question. Then your physical intelligence, your nervous system, can produce the answer. And again, if that doesn't make sense, that's a whole other, that's something I go deeper into in some of my other videos. But just for right now, we want to strengthen and make sure everybody is deleting any of those. See misinformation. Yeah, that's better now, so that you connect to the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. That's weak. So the sensations, emotions, and reactions to what I'm saying. So deleting that out of your mind, conscious of knowing and not knowing, understanding. So no need to understand, just to feel. Your purpose here is to shift your energy, not to, you don't have to understand, dissect all this. It's kind of like driving, learning how to drive. You can sit and study all day long, but you'll never get it until you actually get behind the wheel and you have to do it. So this is more about experiencing and feeling and not about understanding. So knowing and not knowing, understanding, not understanding. So it's understanding is more slow and it comes from the mind. It's in the collective. Deleting that, all that down to zero minus infinity, resetting, reprogramming, restarting. Okay, how's this group here? Holidays. So still some triggers of the holidays. Positive, positive, negative, negative, neutral, balance, center, stable, strong to all the things. So what is the things? It's the gatherings. So there's what we have. What do we have going on? We have gatherings, gifts, family. It's real, and then it's actually what I'm picking up for this group here is the biggest weakness is about other time and space experiences at holidays or time at holidays, like miserable experience, difficult, tragic, trauma, hardship, heartache, hard experiences. So make all those together, all those even one and contain, even make them from infinite to finite, big to little, heavy to light, serious to silly, shrink them down, and then just delete them all the body, all the spirit, the mind. See, the spirit is bringing those back. So delete the spirit's habit, pattern, program, bring dredging, dragging, dwelling. And it's not just you, it's everybody wants to, oh, let's bring in all this crap from the past. No, let's not. And not say what we did. Let's just delete it down to zero minus infinity. Just be neutral to what did happen, didn't happen, work, didn't work, came together, didn't come together, fell apart, didn't fall apart, collapsed, caved in, crushing. Okay, a lot of energy there. Delete it out of your bodies, out of your minds, out of your spirits. Non-conscious down to zero minus infinity. Being the hooks, cord, ties, attachments, sentiments, stories. Okay, strong to all the memories. Strengthen you to shift your perception, your perspective, and your outlook. Seeing things are what they really were, experiences. Okay. And then what comes around is just the rushing around. It's the collective and even your family. Everything, parents. Let's clear all the mothers. Is you or your mothers in general? Let's see who. Your mothers in general. So your mothers, so clear all the mothers, all their stress because they kind of take everything on, right? So the shopping, the cleaning, the cooking, the cards, the communications, the decorations, the trees, yada yada, for those who celebrate Christmas, oh, church, all these things from those like collectively, when I'm getting these hundreds of thousands of years, you're like, wait, but again, don't worry about it. It's accumulated time, and time doesn't exist anyway. But we're going to delete all that, make it even, one, contain, finite, down to zero minus infinity, bodies, spirits, mind. All the expectation, all the emotions, having expectations, not having expectations, all the sadness, all the grief, all the sorrow, all the hype, the hysteria that comes up. And then the reactions. So clear all the reactions. Oh, before, during, and after all of the gatherings, the celebrations, get-togethers. Okay, all even, delete it down to zero minus infinity. We can't forget. Unconditional. Out of your body, spirit's mind. Okay, resetting, reprogram, restarting. Okay, that feels more quiet. The group feels more quiet in that regard. Okay, still something else there. It's like a few hundred things that want to just be cleared. 500 things, making them even, one and contained. Strong for all of you to be strong to it, to be separate from it, and to delete it and the effects of the body, the spirit, the mind, all the effects of everything we're doing. This is beyond infinite. So beyond infinite effects, make them all even, bring them down to earth, make them finite, and then be strong to them and delete it out of the structure, system, or into the cells of the body. Empty spaces. Okay, back to everybody's reset, reprogram, restart, boundaries, dynamics, stabilizing or balance, center, stable. That's good. Okay, and let's check here. Something else in the group. Okay, I'm trying the group to be bothered, to not be bothered. Not be bothered by all the external influences, the demands, the emotions, the collective, all this programming about time of year. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous. It's the most wonderful time of the year. I mean, I'm not trying to be a Scrooge here, but it tends to be, because there's so much hype and expectation, it can be a really challenging time of year for people. And so we want to delete all that, just to not buy into, to be strong to all these ideas, but strong to the real truth, which is just another day, it's just another time of year. And all these ideas about, oh, it's so magical and giving and all this, it's not what it's become. There's a lot of, if you really look at so much of what happens this time of year, it's driven by the dollar and by advertising and the desire to, at least especially in the United States, it's a good old capitalism and the dollar. Not there's there's nothing bad about earning money, but we want to get clear, balance, and into yourself, your truth, your whole truth, your truth to what is really needed this time of year, and not buying into the overload, the overdone, overeating, overspent, all the overs and all the unders. This time of year is really, if you just look what happens in nature, it's a time to get more rest. It's a time to, we're coming up on the shortest day of the year. So it's a time to really tap into and I'm strengthening off of this right now, rejuvenative, regenerative, restorative, renewing, calming, grounding energies, experiences, practices, maybe not right, actions. We'll say actions. So focusing more on those actions, on what is true for you and not what everyone else wants to pull. So a lot of pulling. Okay. Resetting, reprogramming, restarting. I am going to just double check the chat here. Okay. All right. Still possible to give me any requests. I'm going to start working on some requests that I have. I had one here from Margie. Oh, wait, I got some text here. Oh, it's not text from the group. It's one reminding me about my car appointment. Okay, so what have we here? Margie. So she's got a situation. So the situation, non-physical, psychological, from you outside, you to others, you to other people. Okay, what area of your life? She's got a living situation. Yeah, so let's just back up. Why do you keep having these situations in general? So you to your life experiences, there's a lot of fears. Your fears, internal or external? Internal fears. So make all those fears even. And then we're just make you strong to them. and it's trying to delete them. And the effects are even worse, actually, than the fears themselves. It's beyond infinite effects. Make them even, make them one, contain. And just delete them out of the body, out of the spirit, out of the mind. Out of the cells, empty spaces. Comes up as too much over analyzing, over grieving, over internalizing. That comes from other lifetimes. Again, so psychological across the board. Some patterns, some programs. Because limitations comes up from you, from outside of you, from others' limitations. Limitations with places. So let's delete all those limitations. Excuse me. Forgive, forget, unconditional. Attachment, sentiment, stories. Okay, and you back to yourself. You're somehow delete this program you keep separating somehow from yourself. So deleting that subconscious, non-conscious, and bring yourself back into the strong to be. You're weak to being in the present. So bring all your energy back into this physical dimension, physical universe, existence, time, space, your body. Bring in your body, your surroundings, you to other people, places, or things. Yeah, you have weakness with places. All weakness with places. The mind. All the sources, all the reasons, all the causes, out of the future. Place in the world, place to call home, place where to, something about placement in self. And there's some psychic influences, some you to others, others to you. It's actually you to others. Cutting your ties, sentiments, stories. Forgive, forget. So resetting, reprogramming, restarting. Okay, I'm reading your question here. It's a temporary place, stressful, stress, non-physical, emotional. From you outside, you to others, you were outside you. It's your own stress. So deleting that, the body, the mind. So just the mind, controversy, contradictions. So delete down to zero minus infinity. You to the person to you is a weakness. So let's just strengthen the dynamic, the boundaries and dynamics. And again, we want to connect your nervous system to her nervous system. So you don't connect to her mind and you connected to her mind, her connected to your mind. So you guys are connecting at the mind, and that, is interfering and making you feel off balance. So deleting that down to zero minus infinity. I'm going to download to you that you automatically connect with her and anybody through the nervous system, the physical intelligence, higher self, heart to heart, telepathic communication. Being the karma, the direct, indirect, partial, indirect karmas. That's collective, families. So just deleting that down to zero minus infinity. Okay, the psychological weaknesses between the two of you, triggering each other, bouncing off each other, feeding off each other. So deleting that. The reasons, the causes, the future, and strengthen her for when you leave. Okay, so that feels better between the two of you. Okay, I'm going to work on another request here. So, okay, so we've got someone who's got a cold, and we've got someone who's got holiday blues. Okay, the bigger weakness is the one with the cold, so we're going to strengthen her. Just read her thing here. Okay, a lot of stress, working a lot of days. Okay, so a lot of psychic energies to her, from her, to her, to her, from the collective, from her family, the clients. So yeah, so make those all energies all even. Her to be balanced, center, stable. So she's not center, so strengthen the centering, the midline. Her physical intelligence. Some weaknesses there for sure. So we're going to download, activate all the, for her and this whole group, all physical intelligence programming from the universe, from Dr. Yuen himself. To switch the perception. Okay, so her balance, center, stable. It feels better. Physical intelligence feels strong. So her to receive, to feel, to perceive. So all of you, strengthening you all to connect with the improvement is strengthened to 100%. It's infinite potential. So let's check, make sure there's no resistance, rejection, reverse reception, 100% acceptance. Okay, there's still a little bit of like arguing from the mind. So deleting the fighting, the struggling, the suffering, having it, not having it. So not to not have those, you're weak. So delete that. Struggling, no stress, suffering, no stress. So delete the suffering, the mind, the conscious, subconscious, non-conscious, ancestors, cultural. Okay, so no need to suffer. No need to suffer, no need to pay the price, not owing anybody. Lay that down to zero minus infinity. Eliminate, free, release, forget, forget. Okay, resetting, reprogramming, restart. The weakness to reprogram. Okay, the cold or the her situation there with the exhaustion. So leaving the exhaustion. A lot of times we think exhaustion is physical. In this case, is non-physical. There's, let's see, there's mental, emotional, spiritual, psychological, psychological exhaustion. So psychological something about fears and phobias from others. Other people being in confined spaces, confined, not confined, crowded, not crowded. So spaces, so doing that. And other people, they're being home alone. So deleting all that. Makes sense given the population this person works with. So deleting that. So deleting the fragility, being frail, being fragile, being under attack, fear of threat, fear of attack. So that and more, all even. And deleting that down to zero minus infinity. It comes from the collective and religion, even from friends. and descendants. So delete down to 0 minus infinity. All the cells, so molecules, atoms, quantum particle, empty spaces. So clear the empty spaces. Okay, strengthen everybody's empty spaces to 100% in potential. Okay, mental, the lymph cells, the lymph, the nodes, the vessels, fluids, all the ducts, the center. With inflammation down to 0 minus infinity. Okay, strengthen energy in the empty spaces. So strengthen it to 100%. More energy, more tensing, untensing, more action, more movement. Even integrated balance. Okay. Boundaries and dynamics. Everyone to receive, to feel, to receive. Okay, same, not same, different, not different, change and changing perception. So speed up everyone's perception, 10, 20, 30. Your perception is too slow, so deleting that. Crank it up. The physical brain to perceive, sending the mind off. Okay, so the mind, it's a little bit of judging, worry, uncertainty. So the judging, worry, uncertainty, delete it down to 0 minus infinity, and all other judging and all worries across all time. And that comes from your education. So deleting all the limiting influences of what you've been taught in school and in life, and from the collective, across all time and all space, opening that up. Even spiritual teachings. Okay, all wrong answers from the ancestors across all time and space. So we're so used to not getting the right answer. So we have a lot of weaknesses to accepting the right answer because of all the wrong answer experiences that we've collectively had, especially the ancestors over time and existence. So we're deleting all that across all time, space, down to 0 minus infinity, and opening up to, we're in a different time and space now where we can get answers and we can get them quickly. And we, especially with this method, that's the whole point. You know, we get information and answers quickly with our technology, with our cell phones and everything else. That's how we want our own computer to be, where we have answers and resolution fast. So delete that slowness. It's almost an addiction to slowness, even though we live in this fast-paced world, right? So delete it down to 0 minus infinity, all hooks, all cords, kind of the cords, ties, attachments, hooks, cord, ties, attachments, sentiments. So all the sentiments, letting go of the old self, able, willing, ready, deserving, commitment, neutral, see it, believe it, expect it, imagine it. So imagination to reality. So opening up your mind, body, and spirit, resetting, reprogramming, restarting. 100% in potential, 100 time. Okay, and then we have the last request is about the holiday blues. There's no weakness there. Okay, it really has to do with fitness. So physical fitness, or just fitting things in. Physical fitness. Okay, and that's something we can all always use, right? So let's strengthen this group's physical fitness to 100% infinite potential. Where is the biggest weakness? Is it in the structures, the systems, organs, the tissue, the cells? Quantum particle, empty space. So the cells and empty spaces. So strengthen the physical fitness, the tensing and the untensing. So with this group, is it excess tension or excess relaxation? There's excess relaxation. Which we have too much relaxation. Now, there's a difference between being calm and being relaxed. Calm, there's still action happening in the body. So that's what we want. We want to be calm. And we want the mind to be relaxed and to be calm, but we don't. It's not that it's a misinterpretation about the word relaxation. Relaxing, we've taken it to the extreme where we relax so much that the natural tensing and untensing, or the flow, the expansion, contraction of all the elements of our body slow down. And then that creates dysfunction, and that can create depression. And depression, a lot of times, has to do with the body not firing as at its optimal speed. Now, speed doesn't mean that you're running around like, adrenaline caffeinated person. It just means things are like, you see animals in nature, they can just move on a dime because they're not thinking and they're not slowing themselves down. But there's always a rhythm that their body is still pulsing. So we want to strengthen everybody, get back in sync, back in order, back in rhythm. So the excess relaxation, excess tension. Okay, that's better. So, and your vibrational fitness needs to be stronger. And the tissues, the quantum particles, empty spaces, yeah, all the way to the quantum. So sloughing off the slowness, the heaviness, the sluggishness. Just because it's a colder time of year doesn't mean you have to be sluggish. You still want the action to happen in your body. So get the mind out of the brain. Okay, activating all that movement, good. So I want more speed. There's strength, endurance, flexibility, agility, coordination, and speed. So speed is too much slowness still. And the atoms. So now we need to speed up the atoms. 90 to 100%. Infinite potential. Okay, there's some encapsulations in people's bodies here. So deleting the encapsulations and the cells. So activating all, breaking down all the encapsulations, and then pulling all the encapsulation together to send them away to other dimensions, universes, existence, time, places unknown, black hole, wormhole, dark energy, dark matter, and let that go automatically. Lymph is feeling better. And strong for all the eating this time of the year. Food, no food, eating, no eating, cooking, not cooking, neutral, nothing, a little, a lot, quickly, slowly. Okay, and then strengthen, make sure the nutrients getting into the cells, oxygen, nitrogen, carbon, hydrogen, water. So more water to the cells, to the mitochondria, water to where it needs to go, and other minerals, trace nutrients. So deleting what's the excess, and then evening out any deficiency so that you got what you need. Limbs to torso, torso to limbs. So your torso and limbs strongly connecting. And then the nervous system to the limb needs to be stronger. And then we want to clear there's some sensations, emotions, and reactions. So clearing all that, the body, the spirit, the mind, the spirit. Some stuff in the past. Leftovers is what comes up. Your arm, under chin, hands, fingers, feet, toes, genital, bladder, colon, ascending, transverse, descending, rectum, anus. Okay, so colon needs to be stronger. Yes, so the colon, tensing, untensing. So the colon back in sync, back in order, back in rhythm, or the fitness, more flexibility, agility, coordination, speed. Okay. And all these energies down and out, letting go. Ooh, I feel that, flush of energy. Okay, resetting body, mind, spirit, reprogram thinking, awareness, perception. Okay, clear all psychic hooks, cord, ties, attachments, psychic to you or from you, to you. Something about religion, religious psychic energy. From clients. So clients. So everybody here, even all your clients, even businesses, even, and delete all the negativity. Connect to clients only again on the physical intelligence, nervous system, computer, rather than the mind or the spirit. So deleting that habit, that pattern, that programming. So putting physical intelligence completely in charge and to take charge of the mental and all the outside influences. Automatic, instantaneous, don't even have to think about it. So speeding up your physical intelligence yet again. Okay, let's thank everybody here. Let's check, make sure there's no fragmentation of the soul. No, that's good. Everybody strongly to yourself, connecting, communicating, coordinating, synergizing, working together. Good. Okay, everyone to be balanced, center, stable, midline neutral, calm, calmness. A little weakness to calm. Being calm, not being calm. So being calm triggers memories of not being calm, or other people not being calm triggers people freaking out. So deleting that, freaking out, flipping out, that kind of thing. So deleting all of that out of the mind. Forget unconditional. Sentiments, stories, fear. Delete the fear. Okay, deleting all this down to zero minus infinity, the memories, imprints, residuals, remnants, remains, resetting, reprogramming, restarting, strengthen you to 100% internal potential, down to zero minus infinity, internal boundaries, external, good. We have to strengthen everybody that this keeps going, that you keep automatically strengthening, deleting, resetting, rebalancing. You're strongly neutral to anything else that comes up, and that you're strong to just enjoying this time of year, connecting to the fun and the flow and the festivities and the celebration, and to just be neutral to all the other and to keep it light. Remember, it is enlightenment, not enseriousment. Okay, so program that into you to allow, to acknowledge, to accept, to feel, to free, flow. So strengthen the flow needs to be a little stronger. Set, reprogram, restart. Hey, great. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Again, my name is Colleen O'Connor. I'm a certified Yuen Method practitioner. And if you want any further strengthening, I do offer individual sessions, and I usually offer at least about one of these free sessions for the group a month. I do free sample sessions, meaning that, or sampler sessions, I call them. So if you are contemplating doing doing an individual session, you can go to my website and schedule a 15-minute free sampler session. And with that, we get 15 minutes and you give me a topic, just one topic that we strengthen and delete for about half of the time. So then that's like about 10 minutes. And then we have a few more minutes so that we can talk and you can ask any questions and decide if this is something that you want to do. So thank you again for tuning in. Stay strong, enjoy yourselves, keep it light, and have fun. Take care.